Hey, what's up? This is Scott with Level Up Tutorials. In today's weekly Svelte, we're going to be talking about this error that's been popping up and been the most Googleable thing in the Svelte-Kit world. I'm talking about Svelte-Kit-dev or Svelte-Kit-build, or any of these commands is no longer available. Please use Vite dev instead. I'll be showing you exactly how to fix this. We'll be following the steps here. We'll be doing it on a real project and getting this thing going. But before we do that, let's take a minute to talk about our sponsor today, which is API Layer. Now, API Layer is a hassle-free API marketplace, and this allows you to get an API spun up in no time using all kinds of different tools. You can supercharge your app with any of these ready-to-run backends and APIs, whether or not you need a URL shortener API, a scraper, email verification, code detection, file stack, or more. API Layer has you covered. In fact, one of my favorite of these testimonials they have here, it says that it returns just a simple JSON string that you can use how you want. And really, when I am working on APIs, honestly, it's not my favorite thing. To know that you can basically have an API spun up in no time, and you can see there's even some guides here on how to work with things like Laravel and Flutter, you'll know that you can get up and running extremely quickly without losing total access to the code like you will in many no-code projects. So you'll want to head on over to apilayer.com and check out all of the different types of APIs they have available for you, whether that's web tools, verification, text processing, finance, data, or any of these types of things. There is a lot of neat things here for you to dive into. So check it out at apilayer.com. All APIs here have a free plan and no credit card is required to start. Okay, let's get into this. This error is the Svelte-Kit dev is no longer available. Basically, what's happened here is that Svelte-Kit has decided to kind of change how they do their Svelte config. In the past, you had a Svelte config file that kind of does everything, and it sweeps Vite under the rug to the point where many people might not even know you're using Vite, which is a tool that handles a lot of the build process and dev server for Svelte-Kit. So you might be thinking, well, why do I need to do this? Well, this is kind of exposing some of the underlayer of Vite into Svelte-Kit to make it easier to work with Vite when Svelte-Kit. Now, Vite has its own community of plugins and tools, and it's nice to be able to tap into that instead of having to use Svelte-Kit as sort of a proxy for those things. So what do we do here to fix this error? Now, keep in mind, I'm on a project that I have, which is my Svelte toy project, and I'm going to open this thing up in VS Code. We can do this together here. That's the wrong project. Let's move this one over here. I'm going to bump up the font size here, and you'll see the first thing we want to do is npm, or in my case, pnpm, install --save -dev Vite. Okay, so we need to install Vite as the first thing. Okay, and we want this to do this as a developer dependency or dev dependency, a development dependency, I should say. And you can see here, if we head to our project, head to our package.json, you can see inside of our dev dependencies, we have our Svelte-Kit, which is at version next, and we have Vite, which is at 2912. So we now have Vite installed. In terms of the steps here, you can see that is step 1 out of the way. Step 2 is we need to create a Vite config file and then use the Svelte-Kit plugin. Now, you can copy this line directly, or you can look in my video. I'm going to copy this line directly because it's always nice to copy and paste. And what we'll want to do is head in the root of our project, create a new file, and this is vite.config.js. Paste this thing in here, and it looks just like this. You'll notice we're importing the Svelte-Kit plugin from Svelte-Kit or svelte.js/kit/Vite, and then we're able to use the plugin in the config, and we're just exporting this config. That gives us access to essentially a Vite config inside of our Svelte-Kit projects, and this one's using the Svelte plugin. Okay, the last thing we'll want to do is update all of our scripts inside of package.json. Now, if you're in a new Svelte-Kit project, you're never going to see this error because this type of config will already be set up for you. But since we're working in a pre-1.0 environment, there are going to be breaking changes because it's not established in a 1.0 yet. So it's better that they get these things out of the way now. It's a small little update. Let's head to our package.json where we do have our scripts. change this to be Vite. And then likewise, we can say Vite. And I actually wonder, let's try this really quick because I use package. I wonder if the package command has been revised as well. Let's do pnpm package. So this is interesting that the package command still exists inside of Svelte-Kit. It's not telling me to change this to Vite. That's probably because I don't know if Vite has their own package command. So that makes sense. What about preview? Let's try preview. I don't even know if I have a version of this build, but I just want to see if this command exists. pnpm preview. Okay, so it does want you to change this one as well. So preview becomes Vite preview, dev becomes Vite dev, and build becomes Vite dev. And now here you're on pnpm dev. This should be deving our site. Here it's available to us at localhost port 3000. Fire this bad boy up. We're ready to go. If you want to learn a little bit more about this, I'll be posting the link to this in the show notes. But as you can see here, it closes a number of issues that you can learn more about. But we're really just getting to the point where, maybe getting rid of some of the Svelte-Kit specific things that we don't need that are just kind of sitting on a layer on top of Vite and exposing Vite directly, which I think is a net positive considering how big of a community Vite has as well. So as always, this is Scott with Level Up Tutorials. If you are hitting this issue, just go ahead and follow these steps or follow this video, and you should be up and running in no time. As always, this is Scott with Level Up Tutorials. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.